piece of ground they had to try to survive on. So they moved. Most of them moved north, the industrial north, to work in the auto manufacturing, steel mills, the chemical plants, or they went west to work in agriculture with vegetables and the fruit. So Arkansas lost a tremendous amount of population, and we lost the Tucker family. But anyway, to just make a few comments about the family, it's known that Farrell and I both owe a debt of gratitude to the Tucker family. Our great-great-great-grandfather came here 30 years prior to the Tuckers. But he came here for the sole purpose of spreading the Baptist doctrine. And Kitchen Tucker and his family moving into this area prevented that from being spread any farther. And Agnos was a stronghold for the Church of Christ for many, many years. No other denomination anywhere close to us. No denomination churches was louder than where it is because of the teaching that, and the strong belief that they brought here, that you go to the Scripture. You go to the Scripture. If there's a question, you want to know something, go to the Scripture. If it's not there, you don't teach it. And anyway, because of that, the church has been strong here for 163 years. Kitchen, like I say, Kitchen bringing the church, the New Testament church here in the community prevented any further spread of that Baptist doctrine. I know the seed planted here is directly responsible for me being a member of the Lord's church. So I am at least evident of that it's still effective today. Kitchen arrived here in 1856. 9 children moved with them, some already married. This large family ensured a big impact on the community. History proves that they were very civic-minded people. They were responsible for 2 church buildings, also used as church assembly and a school. Isaac Tucker applied for a post office, which started operation in 1880. As a matter of fact, July the 13th, 1880. And according to folklore, is responsible for the name of Agnos. The community was called Crossroads, that being because of the main crossroads from Maysville to West Plains, Missouri, one from the railhead at Hardy, west of Salem and Oxford, crossed here. When the agent came to fill out the necessary forms to establish the post office, he asked Isaac what to name it. Isaac, well, everybody called it Crossroads, just put it down Crossroads. Well, the agent looked and said, can't do that, we already have a Crossroads, Arkansas. And Isaac said, well, you just name it. Well, he said, no, I have to do this everywhere I go, and I'm running out of names. Isaac called into the kitchen. I don't know who Agnos was. He said, hey, Agnos, come here. She said, wait a minute, Ike, till I get the dough off my hand. He said, oh, never mind, so we'll just call it Agnos. So that's the story that I have heard from the older generation of folks.
And they spelled it wrong.
Kind
That's
of
why it's
amusing, I thought,
Agnos
to me.
instead of Agnos.
But the gospel, like I say, the gospel planted here 163 years is still producing. Still producing. They, Isaac Kitchen had in 1858, about a mile and a quarter northwest of here, had a meeting. It was the first we know of a meeting of the church, and it expanded from that point. They met in the church building, in the school buildings until 1946, when they was able to build a building here. This cemetery that we're here in today is Tucker property that they donated for that purpose.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But then with the gospel, like I say, the gospel spread from here. The family and everyone that they converted when they left in this Exodus in the 40s, in the 40s on up, they took that gospel with them. They took that word with them. They took that strong faith and belief with them, and they took it in. We know here evident into Michigan, went to Oklahoma, went to California, and all over this United States. But here, the church at Agnos spends about 60% of our budget goes into evangelical work. In the years that I've been here, I know that I know of, it goes to Russia, Europe, South America, Vietnam, Cambodia, Mexico, just to name a few of the places. And that being done is still goes all the way back to the Tucker family. All the way back to the Tucker family. Agnos is the oldest church in Fulton County with continuous service. So that's another thing that proves the good work that was done by them. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
In the, you just spurred something in my mind. There's a Churches of Christ directory where Mac Lynn from Searcy catalogs all the churches, and it had, a few years ago at least, Fulton County was number, I think it was number 13 in the nation per capita for churches, organized churches, and I don't know that it was the first church of Christ in Fulton County, but it's the oldest one that's still, right?
Well, it's the oldest one that I know of, but that.
So it may have been the first. He and Kenshin and Eliza, his wife, may have started that, and so that's something to be proud of. What I have to say is kind of a lot about the Tuckers. Not so much the history, just appreciation of them and of Jerry as part of that family. Solomon said, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for after many days you shall find it again." Ecclesiastes 11, verse 1. We here at Agnos, Church of Christ, think of the Tuckers as family. I personally experienced great joy when I located Kenshin and Eliza's graves over at Humphreys. Yes, you all said that you sometimes visited there before. Found it and tried to find it again as part of my COVID